Hey, 7th grade. Today we're going to look at the percent equation. Over the last few days we've been talking about how to set it up as a proportion. Today we're going to look at it as an equation. So to do this, you'll need to turn in your books to pages 55 and 56 and have access to a calculator. So on the next page, it talks about writing an equation for each of these problems and then solving, rounding to the nearest tenth if necessary. So we're going to set up an equation. Now I'm going to write this at the top of the page here to kind of keep this in mind. We always know that we can find the part when we multiply. I'm going to erase that. Sorry, my pen went a little crazy there. We know that the part is equal to the percent times the whole, right? So we oftentimes will use it, and you might see it this way. The part A is equal to the percent times the whole. So down below here, let's set this up as an equation. We have 25% of 176 is equal to what number? So we know that that is referring to the part. So we're trying to find the part. So we could write that equation out. We don't know the part, but we know we can assign that a value of x, right? A variable, that's the unknown, is equal to the percent, 25%, times, once I put this in parentheses, times the whole, which is 176. And remember our wording, we know that 176 is the whole because we see that of in front of it, right? Now, when we actually solve this, we need to remember that 25% as a decimal looks like that, right? 0.25. So we're actually multiplying 0.25 times 176. And that will give us our part. So on your calculator, you can go ahead and just multiply 0.25 times 176. And that will give us an answer of 44. Okay. And so we can say, well, 25% of 176 is 44. So basically, if that's 25%, we know that if we multiplied it by 4, we would get 176. All right. Okay, we're going to go down now and do problem number 4. So we have, if we're looking again at this equation up here, we can set it up with what we do know. We knew our percent, right? So we could say, well, our percent is 80 or 0.80, right? With it as a decimal, 0.80 times the whole. And it looks like we don't have the whole, we only have the part here. So we're going to write that. We don't know 80% of what number, but we know that the part is over here. That is 94. So 94 is equal to 0.80 times x. Now we just want to find out the value of x. We want to find out what the whole is. We can go ahead and solve for x. That means get rid of the 0.80 by dividing by 0.80 and dividing 94 by 0.80. And if I did that with my calculator, I'm going to do that really quick. I know that 94 divided by 0.8 is equal to 117.5. So x is equal to 117.5, meaning 94 is 80% of 117.5. Okay? So if you turn the page to page 56, I think this is 56 anyway, you will see that you have some word problems that you're going to have to set up as a percent equation. So let's look at number 19. It says Jonas and Norma's restaurant bill comes to $23.40. They are planning to tip the waiter 15% of their bill. How much should they leave for a tip? Okay, so we want to find 15% of this number. So that's going to represent our total. Now remember, if you look up here, we know that we are going to be multiplying our percent times our whole. So we would have the part which represents our tip is going to equal 15%, or 0.15, right, as a decimal, if I could do that, times, if I can get that in there, times our whole of $23.40. So then we'll go ahead and we can just to find our part, or to find our tip, we're going to multiply 0.15 times 23.40. And that's going to give us our part is equal to 3.51. Or I guess they referred to that as that. But so basically what that's saying is that we will pay $3.51 as a tip. Okay? All right, let's go to number 20. We'll just do one more together. If you can find each part of this equation, you can set it up and solve for whatever you're missing. So number 20, it says the Briarwood Middle School Chess Club has 55 members. 22 of the members are in 7th grade. So 22 out of the 55. So we're going to write that out. So it looks like 55 is our total, or our whole. 22 is our part, and we're missing the percent, right? So we're gonna write this out. 22 is our part, is equal to, we don't know what percent of our whole, which is 55. Okay. So now all we have to do is solve for x. So we're going to get rid of that multiplying by 55 by dividing by 55. Divide by 55. And so that's going to give us x is equal to 22 divided by 55. And I could do that on my calculator. 22 divided by 55 is equal to 0.4. X is equal to 0.4, which is also 40%, right? If we move the decimal place back over, that's 40%. So that would make sense. 22 students out of the 55, that's 40%. Okay. All right, students, go ahead. The time is yours to complete pages 55 and 56. Good luck.